Hello everybody, I'm doing this video as a live stream because I don't have much time today, and I want to make a video about reviewing language learning progress. So I just thought I'd do a live stream. So this could go horribly wrong because I haven't rehearsed this as such. So why do I want to make a video about reviewing language learning progress? Well, the reason is because a couple of weeks ago I went to a polyglot gathering, and to register for the gathering you have to say which languages you can speak and at what level. And I really hate doing this because from time to time, my languages go down or they come up again. And so what I did was to register online for the polyglot gathering, I had to fill out specifically what level the languages were at. So this was my level of languages, and as you can see, I'm native British speaker, and I put myself down for being quite fluent in French, and then all the other languages here. So if you don't know what these A, B and C means, it's to do with the European framework of languages, and this is a framework that sort of gauges you at where you're at in a language, in your language learning. So C1 and C2 are obviously the most fluent, and A1 and A2 are the least fluent down here. So I put myself down for Polish as being B level, and as soon as I did this, I started feeling a bit nervous because I thought to myself, I'm probably not really at a B level. I'm probably only at A level, which is a beginner kind of level. And I put down the B level because I wanted to engage with people in Poland. I wanted to be able to speak Polish while I'm in Poland, and I've been learning Polish for about 2 years. And so I really was worried about this because I thought to myself, I'm really at a rubbish level. And it made me realize that actually, what level am I at? I haven't really reviewed my language learning journey for quite a long time. So I didn't actually review it at the time because I was more interested in journeying up on my Polish because I was going to be going to Poland, and I started concentrating on that language more than any other language. So I did that, and then I didn't really think about making this video until recently because I thought, well, I'm going to review my languages. Where am I with them? So I did that. So just show you my I've kept badges from previous conferences. And interestingly enough, the language profile is different to a previous conference because this was a few years ago. This was in 2018. So it's nearly 4 years ago now. And I was learning Croatian at the time. So you've got Croatian and Bosnian here. Cheekily, I put the two labels down because I was only learning one language, but it's pretty much similar. And I don't know any Croatian anymore. I've just completely forgotten it because I didn't learn it to a high enough level to really review. So I have another one from previous conference, and that was in 2016. And as you can see, I was a bit more humble in those days. I put down less languages. So what does all this mean? So I was worried about Polish. I was worried about not being able to speak Polish very well. And what I did was I actually managed to speak Polish the whole time I was outside of the conference. So I was buying tickets, shopping in shops, going from the airport and everything like that. And nobody wanted to resort to English or any other language with me. They coped with my Polish, even though it wasn't perfect. And they understood me and I understood them, which was brilliant. And I was really kind of proud of myself. So in this video, I want to talk about why should you want to review your language learning progress? Well, because first of all, I want to make the point that we are our own worst enemies. So when it comes to language learning and any other kind of learning, we tend to put ourselves down. And this is exactly what I did before I went to Poland. I thought to myself, God, I'm not going to be able to do this. My language level is rubbish. And that I'm not going to be able to cope with all these, being in situ in Poland. And it was okay, actually. It wasn't too bad. So what I personally do to review, and what I've done in the last few weeks since I came back from this conference, is that I've used my own YouTube channel to have a look back at my progress in language learning. So I looked at my Polish videos from about 18 months ago when I first started learning Polish. And after a few months, I was able to make some videos where I was speaking a bit of Polish, but I didn't really speak much. But I thought to myself, well, I haven't really made much progress since that time. You know, it was about 18 months ago, and I haven't really been able to make longer videos of me speaking Polish. But when I've looked back on the videos, I've noticed that, for example, my accents and my pronunciation has really improved. And I'm using different words now, and I'm kind of speaking more naturally. A lot of the videos I made in those days were rehearsed. So my first tip, or my first suggestion, is that you record yourself making videos. So if you're self-conscious of making videos and you don't want to do this, or if you don't want to record yourself orally, you know, just by audio, you could do it without publishing it. But I think it's a good way to measure your progress. So if you date these videos, or date the audio recordings, you can go back a month, 2 months later, and even though you may not feel you've made much progress, you can have a look and you can see that you have made progress. Hello, Kamil, Slav, Chonit. Interestingly, I've just got one viewer, and it's Kamil from Kurdistan. Hello, Kamil. And my Kurdish progress has been really bad. My Kurdish progress has really gone downhill. So interestingly enough, you can't learn too many languages at once. So Zor Basham, Basham Spas, Hazem la Khwandanawaya. I'm not going to try and speak Kurdish because my Kurdish, I'm going to make a mockery of it live. So I'm sorry, Kamil, but I want to go back to learning Kurdish big time. But this video is about reviewing language learning, and it's tips about how to sort of, we often sort of just go forward and keep learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, and you end up not really going back and seeing how much progress you've made. So Kamil, give me some suggestions, please, on which resources I can use. I've used your YouTube video quite a bit, your YouTube channel quite a bit, and I really like your ones on the phrases for learning Kurdish. I've got this book. I'm going to show you my book I've got, which is quite good. It's this one, Sorani Kurdi. You know this book, Kamil? The problem with this book is that it doesn't give you the script. It's all in the Roman script, and I want to learn Kurdish with the proper script. But the good news about learning Kurdish now is that it's available on Google Translate, so you can type in your English and get it translated into Kurdish. So that's good. Talking about reviewing languages, I think it's a good thing to go back over easier lessons that you've learned before. So whatever material you're using. So if you're using a book, for example, and you've gotten to a stage where you've reached a block, you can go back to an earlier lesson of the book and realize that you find it a lot easier than you used to find it. So this kind of gives you a bit of a confidence boost. So Cameron's telling me, I'm not aware of many resources, but there is a channel called Everything About Kurdistan, I think. It's a good channel for learning Kurdish. Yeah, I know this channel. I've been on there. I think there are some lessons on there, and I've done them, but there aren't many lessons. I don't think it's been a very maintained YouTube channel or website. I inspired somebody to learn Kurdish. I want to tell you this because it's, even though I'm not actively learning it myself at the moment, and I do want to go back to learning it, I went into a shop where all the guys speak Kurdish in there, and one of the guys was from Afghanistan, and his native language was Pashto, and he didn't know any Kurdish, and all the guys were speaking in English because of this guy from Kurdistan, from Afghanistan. And I said to them, why don't you speak Kurdish, because you're all Kurdish in here. And they started teaching this guy from Afghanistan some Kurdish. So next time I went into the shop, he was like Slav, Manawim, Azir, and things like this. And I was really pleased that I'd inspired a guy from Afghanistan to start learning Kurdish. So even though I feel a bit embarrassed because I stopped learning it so much. So talking about reviewing languages again, I think it's important to have notes. When you're learning a language, you keep a record of what you've been learning at that time, and you can go back and review some of the older things. So I've got a diary here for what I was doing back in March, for example, and these are all my notes here, so I understand what they mean. And I've recorded what I did on those days. So, for example, on the 28th of March, I listened to Pimsleur Ukrainian lesson number 28 because I was learning Ukrainian then. And then on the Tuesday, I did Ukrainian Pimsleur lesson 29 and 30, and I did Greek 1, 2, and 3. So I'm a bit of a language tart. I go from one thing to another, and I should really stick to the same languages, but it depends who's in my environment at the time. So in the shop where I work, I have lots and lots of Polish customers, I have Chinese customers, and I have some Romanian customers, and I don't really get many Kurdish customers at the moment. So I feel a bit guilty that I gave up a little bit on Kurdish. But having Camo here, thanks for watching, Camo, you're the only person here, has made me realize that I could go back and review my Kurdish and start doing that as a new challenge. I think that's been a good thing for me to see you online, Camo, and you. I think, am I going to do that? You need to challenge me to do that. Right, I only have about another few minutes because I have to go out. So I went off on a tangent. I'm really sorry if you're going to look back at this video. Right, so Cameron says to me, if I have more free time, I might start a new series of learning Sorani, but I can't promise anything, lol. If you do, Camo, I will watch your channel. I really will come back to it and watch and start learning some Kurdish. I feel embarrassed because about a year ago I was making videos in Kurdish, and I was speaking a bit of Kurdish, and it's just gone. When a Kurdish customer does come into the shop, I feel so embarrassed at not being able to say anything much in the language. I know it's going to come back. It's rusty, and it will come back when I start giving it a go. In terms of review, I think I need personally to go back and review my own Kurdish videos and see if I can learn something from my own videos, and then go forward to start learning again. But at the moment, I'm supposed to be learning more Polish and Ukrainian and some Romanian. Who's to know what's going to happen? Thanks very much for watching, Camu. I'm going to have to go now, and I went off on a tangent. I didn't really make a very good video today, but it's been good for me, actually. Take care. See you soon. Khodafis.